Hi guys, it's me, Joseph Machine again, and for this video that I will be dedicating to the month of love, February in 2026, I shall be talking about a movie that I both love to death, and it also covers football in honor of the Super Bowl that will be happening today. And it just happened to be one of my favorite sport movies. My favorite sports movie of all time, as well as one of my favorite early Adam Sandler movies, and one of the best comedy movies of all time for me. And that'd be The Waterboy. Boy, this movie is really special to me for multiple reasons. The characters are lovable and Sandler's likable. So are the sport tropes in there, as well as some more funny jokes like the Abdullah Abangada thing, which I'll get to when I get to it, as well as the mama jokes. And yes, I do consider my own mother for that too. Very funny. But also it can apply to Miss K of the Dynasty fame. And there is the legendary, the incomparable Henry Winkler in the movie as well. So yeah, so this is a big one for me. And in honor of the Super Bowl, I figured I might as well do it. But first, let me just say that I done something with my hair. You notice it? It's something very nice I've done with my hair. Yeah, it's one. I have one of those hats on. One of those old-fashioned drink hats that they usually promote for the Super Bowl and such. Yeah, I bought it a while ago on eBay. I think it was eBay. Might have been Amazon, but I think it was eBay. And I've had it for God knows how many years that I've had it. I still have the tube somewhere in the house here, but I can't find them on my right now. But I do have them there, and it's basically a lazy boy version of getting a drink. You know that you usually have your beers up here, and then you have tubes that go from the beer can to your mouth for lazy people. But luckily, I'm not quite that lazy. And you got room for 2 drinks in here, and then you have two tubes one for each drink. But I prefer having my drink right there in the cup holder, which, thank goodness, my dad bought one for my scooter. You know, one that fits right over the handlebar, grips the handlebar, and then it has a nice cup holder for it. And it's strong too. It's from a Team, believe it or not. And for like $2 or $3, it's worth that, I think. Because of all the things on my scooter that I wish I had the cup holder. You know, it's little things that make things very convenient for me. You know, so I believe at one point I did have a cup holder for the arm of the chair, but that was too uncomfortable, especially when it fits the tight spots. And you could easily pull off in that way. So what we did was we put it on the handlebars, one of the handlebars. We had it facing toward the basket so that it wouldn't actually affect the width of the chair. So when I went to make a turn, either right or left turn, it would not be in the way of any walls or doorways or anything. That was pretty smart for either of us. And he bought one for his own school too. Whether he uses it on a different story, but I intend to use my couples on my school now, because that's why I paid the $3 for it. So anyway, this movie takes me way back. Within the 90s, well, I know within the 90s, but I can't think of what year it was. I want to say 94, so it was somewhere around there. I was in the middle elementary school at that point. It was like third grade, fourth grade or so. Maybe third grade, somewhere around there, So yeah, this movie is so great because because it involves Colonel Sanders and Mama, played by Kathy Bates. And let me tell you, she's a tough cook in this one. Oh boy, she's a tough cook in this one. She can cook anything into any meal that you want. In fact, they make fun of that by the scene that she tried to cook a snake with a big ass boa constrictor that's in Louisiana, which the movie is being filmed in. And when the coach says, well, part of the snake is this part, because a snake is basically one long thing with very little to tell it apart from the other parts. She said, "Oh, that I would consider that the knee of the snake." I said, "Okay, yeah." So she reminded me of Miss K from Duck Dynasty fame, which was basically like a redneck reality show, more or less. But it was really funny because her spin-off cookbook involved all the things that you would see in the swamp. Possums, snakes, rodents, all kinds of other disgusting things that normally you wouldn't think about eating. But because survival in Louisiana oftentimes involves eating unsanitary things that you might pass up on, or is you consider roadkill, and what I would consider roadkill, they consider a 3-course meal. And it made me fun that I was debating on buying that for my mother for a gift, but then again I thought, my mother might seriously make something from there, just for shits and giggles. And yeah, that would have been very unpleasant, especially because we just saw a movie today called Octopussy in the James Bond lineup, which involved a very gross thing for me. Caboose sheep's head. But in this case it was cooked, where normally my dad shows it to me raw. A very disturbing and disgusting thing that he does with me is like tease about that. Like I'm no bigger than 10 years old. I said, quit doing it, man. It's fucking disgusting. Normally I like to joke about stuff like that, but for this, no, I don't. I don't joke about that kind of thing. That's disgusting, it's creepy, and makes me nauseous. And if you know what I talk about on the channel, you'll see that it's gotta be like ultra disgusting for me to be disgusted by it. But anyway, I often make a joke that said that this girl in the movie played by Kathy Bates. I forgot her name. I want to say Lorraine in the movie. Lorraine Boucher is her full name. I like to consider that to be my own mother. To where my father says, no, that's not funny. And why he always cracks a smile whenever he says that, whenever we say that. And my mother always used to be teased about that after I saw the movie for the first time. So yeah, Mama does. Went through her dismay. And even she found it funny at one point or another. I also would consider Melissa McCarthy in one of her funnier roles, which I will get to later on this month, to be another reincarnation of my mother's comedy and being. That's what she was alive. And it involves a very particularly funny moment in a Waffle House that occurred years ago. So stay tuned for that little disaster number, because it's so funny. And my father, even though my mother is deceased for almost 7 years now, still busts a gut laughing whenever he sees that one scene in this movie. So anyway, you got Bobby Boucher, and Bobby Boucher has a very strict mother, in that she'd like to say that everything that goes against her will, or anybody that goes against her will, is the devil. So football is the devil because Bobby's father was into football when he was in college or something, or high school. And women are the devil, which, depending on who you ask, might be true or not, but that's beside the point. The Colonel KFC is the devil. And the list goes on with people being the devil, everything being the devil. These scissors cut me once, so therefore they are the devil. That happy face back there, that's fine. But the sunglasses it's wearing are the devil. Silent the Hedgehog is the devil. See, you get the idea. She's supposed to be a mockery of all religious people who say that anything that's new or anything that goes counter to what they say is bad or the devil. By the way, what I want to know is, does anybody out there know anyone that's real like that? I think that movement has gone away. So, so that's more like older, more religious people than that. Well, I'm not sure. Maybe in the South and the West, it's more predominant. Anyway, Bobby Boucher, which does real good, Adam Sandler does real good, does real good, Southern boy accent in this movie. Many people would trash him for doing all kinds of stupid, silly accents, like in Little Nicky, or say, Little Nicky, or this movie. I think they're both fine. I'm why there's so much hatred toward the guy. I mean, sure they can be annoying at times, but for the most part they are really good. I mean, I don't mind them. Now, if you talk about Whitey from the 8 Crazy Nights, that is fucking annoying. That's the nicest. No, I don't know what he was thinking of when he did that, but it sure was really annoying. And, I hate to, I hate to be married to someone that does that on a regular basis, I could just imagine him with his wife or his kids and having a fun time with them, and him breaking into that voice just to annoy the piss out of him. But anyway, he wants to eventually grow up and get into football, or as his dear sweet mama called it, foosball. And I believe that he's gonna get into college. He wants to do it in college and play it in college. But the only one that can change it is the fact that he's in a high school and he's gotta take like a high school exam for it to get into college to play for major team and stuff. And of course you got the boys on the team that don't want him to play football or anything. And they're like I don't know how I feel about them because they're more of a stereotypical and stuff. But yeah, I knew people who actually did that to me in school. So, because of my voice and because I can't walk right. So, I don't know how I feel about those people because I know they exist like that. But I don't know about how they were to how they were to I don't know how I feel about them honestly. Anyway, then got a coach played by Henry Winkler, and he's like the good coach, and he's got to teach Bobby Boucher how to. They want him to go on the football team, but he wants to live with them on the water aspect of it. Because hydration is important, and yet it is very important, but he takes it way too far. Granted, the water supply in the place is terrible. I mean, it's moldy, it's covered with flies, the bucket is rusty, and that kind of thing, but he even offered to be the hydration specialist for free. And that's really, really funny. Especially when they show close-up of that and he said, I'll do it for free. You can't serve your players out of that. And you know what? They can't, that's the law. They can't serve water out of that filthy, disgusting mess of equipment. But I really like the fact that they showed the cheerleaders on the team, because college cheerleaders are so busted and they're so used to losing all the time that they don't even bother with doing the rah 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 shish kumbah. They're always drunk all the time. So it's really, really hilarious. Anyway, the mama doesn't want Bobby to go on to college football because her husband ran away from when he got big into football. Big as a college player goes. So she doesn't want this thing to happen to Bobby and leave her alone. Even though she would to let him decide, and it would be a better future for him. Plus, I like the way the girl Veruza Bog. Anyway, Lord from the Wizard's Box from the Return of Oz movie. He plays Courtney Valcourt, and she is so funny and it's fun because she's confrontation with Mama, which is a big no-no, and she's like trying to talk to Mama and stuff, and meanwhile Mama is saying, that she tell him all kinds of stuff that a mother should not tell a young woman like he has big sticky feet. He wears the bed all the time. He does all these things that are like pretty much childish and unattractive. But she says, I like feet. I like all this other stuff. So yeah, she's very confrontational to the point that one day she actually sees Bobby at night, and and she does open up herself to him quite literally, and she's very tough and very much mechanical genius because she is a mechanic and she has a father in mechanics. She has 3 brothers on her other side with mechanics. You get the joke from my cousin A. So anyway, she constantly tried to threaten other people with taking down their vehicles and such. And she even shoots up his lawnmower ride for him. And it's really funny because she lawnmowers normally go like I think it's something like 8 miles an hour. Meanwhile, when she gets done with it, it goes by like faster than my scooter does, more like a 20 or 30 miles an hour. It's really funny. But she's got a good heart. Because at the end, Bobby had is with his mama in hospital, even though she's faking it. And everybody's over there with, saying that I'm sorry for treating you badly, sorry for doing this, I'm sorry for doing that. So yeah, you did me in the football game and everything. To the point that even Mama said, go out there with your friends, go out there and have a good time and win the game from Mama. So anyway, that's really funny, but she actually went through each person and made him write a list for everybody that wronged him in the past in his life. If somebody did that for me, they would have a list longer than my Walmart receipt. And that's really sweet. Yeah, did a lot of work too. And may I just say that Miss Buck has very pretty eyes. And she played my favorite character on that, besides the main character on Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and that was Mercedes Cortez. Anyway, there's see now, I almost forgot about the Colonel. So anyway, the boost of his GPA. Bobby's gotta go to college courses. They're in no high school, I'm sorry, they're right no high school, but to go in the college classes, he had to learn college stuff. So he go to a biology class. Seems a little bit advanced for him, for a beginner like him. But who should know? I never took a biology class in school, in college. Honestly, I never did. So anyway, they have a guy that's a professor that looks just like Colonel Sanders on the KFC commercials. And he asked a question, how does why are alligators so aggressive? And the correct answer is because the blue avocados are too enlarged for whatever reason. So because of evolution and that. So that's the correct answer. But being that Bobby looks to his mama for his whole life, and she doesn't know jack shit about biology or something like that. She always told him that because something about the dentist, and that he needs a dentist and he has so many teeth, but he can get a dentist and some other redneck or something like that. So anyway, that was the wrong answer. The guy said the correct answer is blah blah blah. No, you're wrong, the colonel said. Mama is always right. Said, no, she isn't. And then he goes over to the front of the class to leave. And then the guy actually pokes the bear a little more. He said something about Mama. Looks like he got a larger than average arm guy too. So then Bobby lets out a fierce war cry and tackles the old man to shit. Number one, this is for all help. You know how many stuffy professors and teachers in high school I want to do it too. In fact, when I was observing for my graduate school for my teaching degree, I had to observe some people at my old school. So I observed my teacher, Miss Lonky, and somebody, and he tackled one of the other bigger students at the school there. I bet you don't know because you're not supposed to touch any students. But anyway, that was a bit of horseplay there. So, anyway, that kind of thing is funny as all hell to me, to see him tackled. So that's kind of a low blow to attack someone's mother in class. That's something that the boys would do, which is not right either. But when it comes from an adult in the room or a seasoned professor, you're asking for it, especially if you attack the mama. You don't attack family in that instance. But anyway, it seemed that the guy get tackled was pretty funny, and he had to have a few of the guys in class get Bobby off of him, which he will actually use a lot of stuff, this anger issue stuff later on in the movie too. When he opens up a can and go back on the other teams, to the point that the other teams run away scared whenever they're facing Bobby Boucher. So anyway, the coach like this also a coach back in the 70s, and yes, meaning that he is Jewish. Henry Winkle also had a Jew for a while, which is really funny. But then when you find out that he's Jewish, that makes more sense than a guy just a white guy ran away. More appropriate too. So in any case, they show him up, being like an all-star, winning his coach and all that. So that's pretty funny. But then the other coach, the bad guy coach, takes the playbook for himself. Something that I think that Mr. Trump would do. Anyway, he takes the playbook and then uses that playbook for his own purposes, and gives the Henry Winkler coach a type of PTSD because he can't outmaneuver him, he can't do this and that and the other thing. But the thing is that really doesn't make sense in a practical sense, because in real life, let's say that this situation happened in real life. You're trying to tell me that you couldn't develop more plays for yourself in the 20 plus years you had to do it between that and the actual movie coming out. And second of all, you think that you would develop new plays, besides the fact that they were taken from you. You think that this coach would develop new stuff, like 20 years of the same play kind of boring, and any opponent would be able to analyze your move set and then change it up as necessary. So the whole playbook being stolen thing doesn't really work too well. Until he actually does the thing he told Bobby to do. And imagine the coach as being someone non-threatening, so that you can easily defeat them. And when he does that, he imagines the coach as a cute little baby with a little baby face. He does the goo goo gaga thing, which is very funny. I wish I could do that to some people. Anyway, they ended up doing that, and it's so funny when Bobby does it to other teammates. He does he imagines them as people will say that you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, and then you imagine one guy I get the colonel, so then he tackles the guy, and he also he also said something like, your mama is so fat or something like that, and then the real person actually says, but I never said anything about your mama. So then he runs away when Bobby does the war cry, the war cry. And it's so funny. He does what points besides attacking people and that kind of thing. And even when he gets injured, because football, you have to have at least one injury to the main character. When we go to Mama, he said, that there was a ski gorilla that escaped from the zoo nearby, and it attacked him and stuff. So then you see Mama over there thinking that everything is like a big bad gorilla and stuff. And then, did they find the bad monkey yet? Or did they find the ape yet? You don't know, Mama. He didn't find the ape yet. So he continued to play football under the mama's nose. So there's that. And there's also some part where very confused and very weird scene in which Henry Winkler, of all people, goes to talks on the phone with his own mother. And it's funny because there's nobody on the other end, and he's wearing red heels for some reason, and then he thumps his feet with the heels, and this guy's a common genius. And this is before he made Click with M. Talent, and I like that it'd be pretty funny if they had the farms in the 70s, because the Happy Days occurred around the same time this movie is supposed to portray him as, when you're younger. That's really funny. But then they have the thing where they have a whole semester's worth of classes that Bobby has to take tests for. One test with 500 questions from economics, history, social studies, religion, etc., music, and all that other stuff combined into one big unit test, which I don't think it's really possible for them to do, but because it's a movie, that you have to do that. And she passed all the subjects in this one test, and get to play football for the big game. Luckily, he hasn't arrived in the form of Vicky on the court, who assaults anyone who tries to take away from his playtime and everything. And like, he's trying to keep his stay away from Mama. Otherwise, she'll put a stop to right away. How can one person have so much power over a grown-ass adult? I have no idea. But eventually, being exhausted from everything, he ends up passing his exams. I like to think that he gets prepared to core after all that. After all that absorption of information into his big head and all that. And he ends up playing the big game. But not before Mama had their concussion in the hospital. To the point that she goes to the hospital, she fainted, and Bobby tries his best to make the room look more like her own house in the swamp. He put flowers, he put vines, he put moss everywhere. He brings the donkey from the swamp house into the hospital room. It's so funny. I doubt if they would allow that to be in the room with a sick person, let alone a possible roommate that's equally, if not more so sick. But movies got movie. So then they do the thing where I believe they do a farmer scene where Rob Stringer does it. You could do it, Bobby. You can take their little ball off or something like that. And he does. He keeps them in the balls. Well, not really, but he beats up on the biggest, baddest guy on the opposite team. In a very funny moment, because Bobby's like a little run compared to the big guy. Anyway, they have to do that, and he ends up scoring the winning touchdown for the guys. And on his big congratulatory day, with Vicky and everything, they're about to do like a just married with a bunch of cans coming behind the cart and stuff behind the lawnmower that she picks up for him. We get to meet Papa Boucher. And Papa Boucher's like, congratulations, you're a big guy, you're like that first guy and all that. So he's like, let's go party, let's go set up with a big team, trying to make money off of his son, after all the years of not paying attention to him. Now, all of a sudden, he wants to get, jiggy with it and make him into something big. And the mother said, no way, you've been out of his life now. Now that you get big, you want to be his friend now. Yeah. And you can tell that he's a little bit slow. That's where Bob gets it from, but not to the extent of his father. And it's really funny because he's trying to romance a kid and stuff, and he doesn't want to do it until Big Mama comes over and does the same war cry as the son Bobby. It's really funny because she tackles him with a cannibal best on the father, equal to what you see with Bobby and the football players and the colonel too. And it's so funny. And by the end of the movie, you see all the people who were they say to Bobby and all that. So, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry for mean and rotten to you and all that. I'm sorry about insulting your mama. Sorry about insulting your girlfriend, your Vicky, all this other stuff. I sure wish that a lot of people would do this to me, but that's not the point. We want what we want. Like my dad said, how do this just want? So anyway, I find it very funny. This whole story is a very good underdog story, but literally, and I like the thing with the Colonel TFC guy. I like the way they do Vicky Valcourt, me tough girl, tomboy, but very pretty badass too. I like him Winkle parts. I like the fact that both he and Bobby have mommy issues. I like the fact that Bobby helped the team out for free in mowing the lawn and doing the water filtration system for free. It's a very relatable story. Much like say Happy Gilmore, but at least this one is a little more relatable to me. Anyway, I love story pieces, and thank you for watching my video. And the Waterboy is her name because I'm going to play the Waterboy, the boys that we always see in the football games don't actually play football, but he plays like a duo at the water filtration technician and a football player. That will make a big can for bass on him when I'm pissing him off or make fun of his mama. Even they are tenured professors. That's really funny. I would like to do that to my teacher, Professor Lawrence Landsman. Yeah, he said to me that I can't be a teacher because the kids won't be able to understand me. He actually said outright that I wouldn't be a teacher and they would say no to me. If only I didn't get the president of the university's permission to go into a teaching program. So, fuck you, Professor Lawrence. Anyway, I enjoyed this movie a lot. I enjoyed the moment jokes. I enjoyed the others. And by the way, any other movie with Kathy Bates in it, we think reference to my own mother. So things like Misery, the Matt Life Show, anything that she's in, or Melissa McCarthy, I would make fun of that. And my dad, that's not nice. He got the biggest grin on his face when he said that. So, thank you for watching the Waterboy review of that. I did this for the month of love, February 2026. Also in honor of the Super Bowl. I believe it's LX, I think, this year. I could be wrong on that, but I'll give this movie my happy face seal of approval, even though it's the devil. Like me, I'm Charles. I beat the devil. I'm just glad they didn't do the Waterboy 2, because that movie would kind of suck actually, because the Waterboy was just so good. Same way Happy Gilmore and Happy Gilmore 2. So anyway, if you guys like what you see here and want to see more of my videos and such, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also contact me for future information on my videos by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. And you can always follow me on Facebook or on Twitter or X at PNelsonPro. Also, my email is jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. So, I salute all you absolutely fans out there. I know one of them. I like Little Mickey, Happy Go Big Daddy, etc., etc., etc. List goes on. But I even like the Cobbler. I like the Hotel Tangerine movies. Like I'm a big fan of Sandler's, and on SNL too. I like the Link, the Honka song, and other stuff too. So also, this movie also was one of his movies where he brought a bunch of his SNL friends of it. It was Steve Buscemi, I think it was Kevin James at one point. And there was at least one guy there from Little Mickey. Forgot his name offhand, but he was in it. It's a football guy. And just in general, it was a good bunch of people. I don't think they get Steve speaking there at any point in the movie. But anyway, peace out, my brothers and sisters. Oh yeah, I also salute any sport movies or football movie fans out there. I think that's kind of gave an inspiration to be in The Longest Yard, too. The movie. Really good. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you in the next video. All you girls and guys in Internet. Ciao, ciao. Sayonara. BSN. See ya.